Hello, I'm Heather Riley, and welcome to today's math lesson for grade 4. My math tutorial videos are largely based on the curriculum found in the Math Focus textbooks, but the concepts and methods work no matter where you're doing your learning. You may know other methods for solving the same type of question, and that's terrific. Now, let's get started on numeration. All right, so today we're going to be looking at plotting numbers on a number line. I happen to have a great game here. I totally recommend it. It is called Timeline. It's wonderful. And this game is really fun to play, and it's a great visual for kids learning how to put things on a number line, because that's what it is. It's called Timeline, and you're putting dates on a timeline, on a number line. So inside this are little cards with dates, and they show the invention of things. One side shows you what the invention is. This is the invention of the pocketbook. And then if you flip it over, it shows you the date of when that happened. So this is a great game to play in math class or even at home just for extra practice. So the way this works is you would have 4 cards. So we have the invention of GPS, the invention of binoculars, the invention of tea packets, and the invention of the electric guitar. So what you have to do in the game is you have to decide where on the timeline do your cards fit. So you guess a time on the timeline. So normally you would start the game off by picking 1 as the benchmark. So I'm going to flip that over. So minus 3000, so 3000 BC was the invention of the water clock. So I'm going to put it way down here on the left. So then you have to choose one of your cards and decide, is this going to come before or after that benchmark? So I know GPS came way after 3000 BC because electricity and computers. So I'm going to put it over here. And when I flip it over, if I'm correct, then that's great. I get rid of a card. The winner is the person who gets rid of all their cards first. Then play would go around the table till your next turn. The invention of binoculars, I'm pretty safe to say, is between 3000 BC and 1978. So I'm going to say it's in the middle somewhere. 1608. Okay. Next, we have the invention of the tea packet. Now, I'm going to guess that it's after the 1600s and before 1978. So I'm going to flip it. 1908. Yes, amazing. And the last one is the invention of the electric guitar. Now, this one is a little hinky for me. I'm guessing it's after 1908 because of the invention of electricity. Although I know electricity was already invented then, I'm really not sure, to be honest with you, when along that timeline the electric guitar was born. So I'm guessing it's going to be in here, and I'm hoping I'm right. 1924. It was a close thing, but it was right. So now my cards are in the correct order in the timeline. Now I can put them on a number line. I'm going to show that by putting an arrow here to show that time continues on that way outside of our number line. And I'm going to put an arrow at this end to show that time is going to keep continuing past the numbers that we're doing on our number line. So we're showing that the time does not have a beginning or an end. So if I wanted to plot this on a number line now, I'd get rid of this one because it is just too far outside the scope of a number line with these other numbers on it, being minus 3000. So I'm going to get rid of it, and I'm just going to plot these 4. So I've got 1608, the invention of the binoculars, 1908, the invention of the tea packet, 1924, the invention of the electric guitar, 1978, the invention of GPS. So I'm going to plot those, and I'm going to decide that I'm going to go by tens on my number line because it'll really show the distance between these 2 dates because it's 300 years difference. But it'll show all 3 of these dates in a respectable way. So I'm going to start here by saying that it's 1608. So I'll do, this will be 1610. And so my first plotting here of 1608 will happen just before that. 1608, and this was the invention of binoculars. Then I have to count till I get to 1908, and I'm counting by tens. So every little square I'm going to count as 10 years. So I've got 1610 at this line. So 1610, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 1700, 1710, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 1800, 1810, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 1900. So this is going to be 1900, and it's close to my date. My date is 1908, so it's going to be before 1910, which would be the one jump. So I'm going to put it right here. So 1908 is going to be invention of tea packets. We call them tea bags here. Okay, there's tea packets. And then I have 1924 is my next one. So this number, this line right here would be 1910, 1920, and this is 1924. So that's going to be almost halfway between 1920 and 1930. This is 1924, and that is invention of electric guitar. I'm sorry about my writing. I'm trying to write under the camera. And the last one is 1978. So this here would be 1930, 1940, 50, 60, 70, and it's almost at 1980. So this is 1970. And so 1978 is almost 1978. And that is invention of GPS. So that's how we plot times on a timeline. It's just like a number line where you're putting them in order, or least to greatest, except you're doing it to show years instead. And you can see what a big span happened between the invention of binoculars and the invention of the tea packet. It's kind of amazing the order that those came in. Thanks for joining me.